The UK's Department, I should say, for International Development has admitted that £500,000 of British foreign aid and equipment has fallen into the hands of Al-Qaeda. Now, the confession comes as austerity cuts have become part of everyday life in the UK. And the question, if aid is the best way taxpayers' cash should be spent, is as sharp as ever. RT's Sarah Firth and a panel of guests discuss Britain's budget spending tricks.
Amidst seemingly endless government cuts and with everyone tightening their belts, and claims that the government have been less than careful with the public purse have been met with understandable concern. Britain's foreign aid spending has once again come under fierce public scrutiny, whilst at home Whitehall Waste has in the recent past included, amongst other things, spending on motivational magicians. So have the government tried one trick too many to convince the British taxpayer that they're being careful with their money? Well, here to work their magic, I'm joined by three guests. We've got Eleanor McGrath from the Taxpayers Alliance, Salman Shaheen from Left Unity, and John Hillary from the War on Want. Thank you all very much for joining us. What are the Taxpayers Alliance saying are the areas that should be focused on? I think motivational magicians.
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at councils across the country, they're spending, local government itself is just wasting council taxpayers' money on things like motivational magicians. But if you look at central government itself, I mean, last year alone, 166 million was spent on public sector employees sending their kids to private schools. These are kind of things that, you know, people need to look into these things.
Yeah, but the sums, I mean, it's very easy to come up with these things, but the sums are trivial.
£120 billion a year. This
the
is
sums
the same
are trivial.
as the deficit.
When you say about magicians,
huge amount.
How much is spent on magicians?
You know, considerable,
how much
thousands in one council.
And it's
council taxpayers' money. I want to know my money is going towards, you know, in terms of the different budget itself. I don't want my money going towards consultants and the likes and being wasted in that way and on pricey trips. I want to know that my money is going to the poorest and where I expect it to go on. And I think that's the problem. Taxpayers want to know we're getting the best value for our money. And I think the government needs to show that and look into this quite, you know, it's an important issue.
The critical political thing here is what you spend it on. And one of the issues which I think we'll both agree on is in terms of tax, the importance of strong tax revenue for public services for a functioning social model.
I think that's absolutely right. I agree that if we close the tax gap, then this deals with a lot of issues in terms of austerity, and also actually closing the tax gap in the developing world is vital to move away from their dependence on aid.
If you look at the bumper book of government waste, we found that £120 billion last year alone was wasted on things like massive tickets, such as, I mean, we looked at public sector fraud, cost $20 billion last year. All of this money accounts to £4,500 per family in the UK, at a time when families are having a, you know, hard time tightening their budgets, tightening their belts. This is a massive amount of money.
Okay, guys, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you all very much for joining us.